Well, like she said, my name is Peyton, and I'm 14 years old. And I'm from Wausau, western Wisconsin. And I am here because, well, my mom, who is with me, applied me to be a torchbearer. And the funny part is, she does not even remember applying me because we have, I guess, grant writing phases. So every year we write all these grants to try to get money for the food pantry. And my aunt had set one and said Peyton would be perfect for this, and my mom filled it out, you know, not necessarily knowing exactly what it was. And we got a certified letter. I didn't know about it, but my mom did, and she didn't even think it was real because she's just like, what, really? Okay. And so, you know, they waited for a while to tell me just to make sure it was, you know, real because it's such a cool thing. And so then when we had to get something notarized, she finally told me, and she had a picture of London on the screen, and she said what's going on there, and then I said the torch relay, or the Olympics, then the torch relay, and she goes, who usually carries the torch? And I said, the president? And honestly, I didn't know. But anyway, she asked me, who do you think is carrying the torch this year? And I was like, in shock. It was amazing to even just find out. And so this trip, like a few others, it's my first trip out of the United States, so I got my first stamp in my passport. It's exciting. And it's been an amazing experience. And a little bit about my organization. 5 years ago, 5 or 6, it might be 6 now, I started what's called Peyton's Promise, and I saw a show on ABC about little boys and girls in Camden, New Jersey, which is a really poor city, going to bed hungry every night. But the point that really shocked me the most was the little boy didn't know what breakfast, lunch, or dinner even meant. The words were foreign to him, and honestly, that I am a kind of person who's not necessarily strong, but I don't cry a lot. I watched Marley and Me didn't even cry, and so, it's not that I'm not sad, I just didn't cry. But so I was in tears at 8 years old, and hearing about kids going to bed hungry. So I turned to my mom and dad and said, I have to do something about this. So I started Peyton's Promise, and in 5 years we collected over 80 tons of food, and that is just an estimate. It's not me, you know, donating all 80 tons of food. It's every single volunteer. And every time I did an interview, what I would always say, because it's the truth, it's not something that is just made up. Every single one of the people who have donated just a can, just $1 or more, and every person who has just told someone about Peyton's Promise if they're not able to, you know, donate because they're in some situation, they are the ones who are carrying the torch with me. Every single one of them are in my hearts because I couldn't have done this without them. And it's one of those things that it's not me just making the world a better place, it's every single volunteer. And like we say, it's our biggest regret naming Peyton's Promise because it's not my promise to make the world a better place, it's everyone's promise who wants to make the world a better place. So the best moment so far, wow, it's really hard to choose, but I guess it's just the excitement. I was, like everyone else, I was a bit nervous, I was a little shaky, and kind of felt sick to my stomach almost. But once I gotten off the bus and I was like shaking, and my mom's trying to take pictures, I'm like, I hope it's not blurry, and then well, then I see the torch bearer running down with the flame, and I'm just like, oh gosh, here we go. And he lights my torch, and I'm just like, okay? And then I start running, and you know, they're saying, take your time, and so I did a little dance, and you know, I was doing like shuffle and then the guys are just like, come on, let's run. So I start running, and they're just like, pick up the pace. So and it was just like one of those things. I remember it, but it happened so fast, and I was so excited that, you know, it's just like, I have to watch the video over and over to, you know, remember, and I get that same feeling every time because I was in one of the most crowded sections with a ton of schools. So, but I want to thank Coca-Cola so much for everything. This opportunity has been amazing, and it's hard to even put into words how much I'm grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.